Hi everyone, welcome to SGR Online Learning Center. In this video, I am going to explain you about EBIT EPS analysis in capital structure. Finance is the fundamental thing that is required by every business because the success of the business is determined by its financial soundness. So, efficient management of finance is an integral part of any kind of business. Whether it is a small business or large business, efficient management of finance is very essential in order to attain its goal. Unless the finance is managed in a profitable manner, the business cannot reach its goal. Financial management is one of the disciplines in management that enables the business to attain its goal easily. So, financial management focuses on two major concepts. One is procurement of finance, and another one is effective utilization of finance. Procurement of finance means how the firm raises the required funds through different sources. But raising of funds alone does not help the firm to attain its goal, no? So, what is very essential is effective utilization of finance. So, financial management talks about the timely procurement of finance from different sources and its effective utilization in order to attain its goal. Financial management has two major objectives. One is profit maximization and another one is wealth maximization. Profit maximization is the basic objective of financial management. According to this concept, all the activities undertaken by the business must support the business to increase its profit. That is, all the decisions taken by the business should have a result in profit, whatever decisions may be, whether it's a financial decision or investment decision or purchase decision or production decision, whatever it be, it should have a result in profit. That's what the main concept of profit maximization objective. Wealth maximization is the second basic objective of financial management, otherwise known as value maximization or net present worth maximization. Wealth maximization is the concept of increasing the value of the business in order to increase the value of the shares held by the shareholders. This is because when the share value is increased, only then the shareholders get benefited. So, from the view of this concept, all the decisions are taken in order to increase the net present value of the firm. That is, once the net present value of the firm is increased, only then the shareholders' wealth can be maximized. Now, let's see what is the meaning of net present value. Net present value is the difference between the present value of cash inflows and present value of cash outflows over a period of time. This method helps the firm to identify which project turns into a greatest profit. Simply to say, through this method, firm can easily identify whether the investment opportunity is a profitable one or unprofitable one. Next one is capital structure. Capital structure is the mix of different sources through which the required long-term funds can be raised by the firms. It can be raised through issue of equity shares, preference shares, debentures, and other sources such as loans, bonds, etc. Based on the wealth maximization objective, it is the duty and responsibility of the finance manager to procure the required funds from different sources, and he has to select the optimum capital structure that brings maximum wealth to the shareholder. EBIT EPS analysis is a technique which is used to determine an appropriate capital structure of a firm. With the help of EBIT EPS analysis, an optimum capital structure of the firm can be easily framed, because the optimum capital structure is very essential in order to create the wealth maximization of shareholders. EBIT is the abbreviation of earnings before interest and taxes. That is profit which is available before the payment of interest and taxes. EPS, that is earnings per share. It's an important financial measure which indicates the profitability of the company. That is, high EPS rate indicates the high profitability of firm. And it helps to compare the alternative methods. Alternative methods in this sense, among the different financial mixes, the best method will be selected. That is, the best financial mix will be selected in order to attain the maximum wealth of shareholders. So before selecting a best alternative method, it is ensured by the finance manager that the selected one should give high EPS value. This is what the format which is used to determine the profit available for equity shareholders. EBIT, earnings before interest and taxes, from which the interest on debt is deducted. Interest on debt in the sense, if the company takes any loans or issued bonds and debentures, it need to pay interest. Those interests are deducted from EBIT. The amount left out is considered as EBT, that is earning before tax, from which the tax is deducted. The remaining amount is considered as a earnings after tax, that is EAT. This is what the amount which belongs to shareholders. If the company's capital structure consists of preference shares, the preference shareholders have the right to get preference dividend. So out of which the part of amount goes to the payment of preference dividend. The remaining amount is the actual amount which is available for equity shareholders. After determining the profit available for equity shareholders, the next step is to determine the EPS value. EPS value is calculated by applying this formula. Profit available for equity shareholders divided by the number of equity shares. Let's apply the EBIT EPS analysis technique now. DR Limited has equity share capital of rupees 6 lakh divided into shares of rupees 100 each. The current capital structure of DR Limited consists of 6 lakh rupees. The entire capital is raised by the company through equity shares only. And the value of one equity share is 100 rupees. Therefore, 6,000 shares were equity shares were issued by the company. It wishes to raise further capital of rupees 3 lakh rupees for expansion of business. Now, the company has a plan to raise additional capital of 3 lakh rupees for the purpose of expansion of program. In order to raise this 3 lakh rupees, the company has few plans. There is few alternatives. Let's see the alternatives one by one. So how much amount the company wants to raise additionally? 3 lakh rupees. Okay. This 3 lakh rupees is going to be raised by the company through any one of these plans. In first plan, issuing equity shares only. That is, this 3 lakh rupees is raised by the company by issue of equity shares. That is entire capital. Entire capital is raised by the company only through the issue of equities. In second plan, 1 lakh rupees is issued to equity and 2 lakh rupees is issued to debentures. So in second plan, this 3 lakh rupees is raised by the company through 1 lakh rupees through equity shares and the remaining 2 lakh rupees is through debentures, for which the company is ready to pay 10% as an interest. Here, in third plan, 1 lakh rupees is raised by the company through issue of equity shares and the remaining 2 lakh rupees is raised by the company by issue of 9% preference shares. That is, 1 lakh is raised to equity shares and 2 lakh rupees is issued by the company to preference shares for which the company is ready to pay 9% preference dividend. In fourth plan, the entire capital is raised through loan for which the company has a plan to pay 10% interest. This is what the four different plans through which the company has a plan to raise this additional capital. Now, what we have to do is by applying this method, that is by applying this EBIT EPS analysis, we have to find which option, that is which alternative method will give maximum EPS value to the company. Okay. We are required to suggest best plan alternative and we are required to give our comments, and assuming that the estimated EBIT after expansion is 1,12,500. That is EBIT level of the company is 1,12,500 and the corporate tax is 40%. Okay. So now we have to prepare the EBIT EPS analysis in order to identify which plan will give maximum EPS value to the company. Clear? Now we have to prepare EBIT EPS analysis in order to identify which plan will give maximum EPS value to the company. The company can maximize the wealth of shareholders if the company will get high EPS value for its shares. For that purpose only, we are preparing EBIT EPS analysis statement. Here, in this case, four financial plans are there: plan 1, 2, 3, and 4, in order to raise 3 lakh rupees as an additional capital. By preparing EBIT EPS analysis, we can able to identify which plan will be the more profitable one. Here, a format already explained to you. EBIT is taken as the base. EBIT of each plan is 1,12,500, from which interest on debt is deducted. Interest on debt means the company issues any debentures or bonds, or it borrows any loans, it has to pay interest. That amount is deducted from EBIT. The remaining amount is considered as an EBT, that is earning before tax, from which tax amount is deducted. The remaining balance is considered as an EAT, that is earning after tax. If the capital structure consists of any preference dividend or the company need to pay any preference dividend, that amount is deducted from EAT. Whatever amount left out after making payment to preference shareholders is the amount which is available for equity shareholders. Clear? I'll explain you the plans one by one. EBIT is taken as a base from which we need to deduct interest on debt. Let's see the first plan now. In first plan, the 3 lakh rupees additional capital is raised only through issue of equity shares, right? So there is no necessity of paying interest because there is no issue of debentures, no issue of loans. So the first plan does not consist any interest payment. Clear? So that's why here we have written it as nil, because the first plan does not consist of any payment of interest. The existing level also does not consist any interest payment. So the interest on debt for first plan is nil. Now let's see the second plan. In second plan, 1 lakh rupees is raised through equity shares and 2 lakh rupees is raised through debentures, for which the company is ready to pay 10% as an interest. Therefore, the company has to pay 20,000 rupees as an interest if the company has to select plan 2. Clear? That is 2 lakh rupees is raised through issue of debentures, for which the company has to pay 10% interest. Therefore, the interest for second plan is 20,000. That is 2 lakh into 10%. Clear? Let's take the third plan now. In third plan, 1 lakh rupees is raised through equity shares and the 2 lakh rupees is raised through preference shares. In third plan also, there is no necessity of payment of interest because there is no issue of debentures and there is no issue of loans. The existing plan also does not consist any interest rate, okay, or interest payment. Therefore, in third plan also, the interest on debt becomes nil. Clear? Now let's take the fourth plan. In fourth plan, the entire capital, that is the additional capital of rupees 3 lakh rupees raised by the company only through loans, for which the company has to pay 10% as an interest. Okay, there is no issue of equity, there is no issue of debentures, there is no issue of preferences. The entire amount is raised by the company only through borrowing loans. So the company has to pay 30,000 as an interest, right? That is 3 lakh rupees into 10%. Therefore, the interest on debt for third plan is 30,000. Now we can deduct the interest from EBIT. In such a case, EBT level of plan 1 is 1,12,500 rupees, plan 2 92,500, that is 1,12,500 minus 20,000 interest. Plan 3 1,12,500 and plan 4 82,500. This is what EBT, that is earning before making a payment of tax. Now what we do? Now we have to deduct tax payment. Tax percentage is how much? 40% tax has to be paid by the company. Okay. This 40% tax payment is calculated on the EBT, that is earning before tax. Okay. In such a case, the tax amount of plan 1 is 45,000, plan 2 37,000, plan 3 45,000 and plan 4 33,000. After deducting tax, the EAT level of plan 1 is 67,500, plan 2 55,500, plan 3 67,500 and plan 4 49,500. Here, now we have to deduct the preference dividend. In each case, we have to see whether there is any payment of preference dividend. Whenever we have to see the interest payment as well as preference dividend, we have to consider the existing level also. Existing level means the old level, that is the current capital structure of the firm. Here, the current capital structure consists of only the equities, right? Because the current capital structure consists of 6 lakh rupees, that is 6,000 equity shares were issued at rupees 100. It does not carry any other sources in the sense debentures, loans, preference shares, etc. So in existing level, there is no payment of preference dividend. Clear? Now we have to consider the new level. New level means the additional capital which is raised by the company. Okay. Now let's see the plans one by one. In first plan, is there any preference issue? In first plan, there is no issue of preference shares because the entire capital is raised by the company through equity shares. Okay. In second plan also there is no issue of preference shares because the 3 lakh rupees was raised by the company through equity as well as debentures. In third plan, the 3 lakh rupees was raised by the company through equity as well as preference, right? 2 lakh rupees is raised by the company by issue of preference shares, for which the company has to pay 9% as a preference dividend. Clear? So in third case only, that is in third plan, the company has to pay 18,000 rupees as a preference dividend. Clear? In first case, there is no issue of preference, so the preference dividend becomes nil. In second plan also, there is no issue of preference, so preference dividend becomes nil. In third plan, there is an issue of preference shares, so the company has to pay 18,000 rupees as a preference dividend. That amount is deducted from EH. In plan 4 also, there is no issue of preference shares. Clear? Because the entire amount is raised by the company through loans. Okay? Therefore, after deducting the preference dividend, the actual profit which is available for equity shareholders in first plan is 67,500. In second plan, 55,500. Third plan, 49,500. And in plan 4, 49,500. Clear? Here we have calculated the actual profit which is available for equity shareholders. Now we have to calculate the EPS value. What is the formula for EPS value? Profit available for equity shareholders divided by number of equity shares. Whenever we have to calculate the number of equity shares, it has to be done in very conscious way because this is what the area in which most of the students do mistake. Okay, I will explain you one by one. When we calculate the number of equity shares, we have to take the existing level as well as the new level. Existing level is nothing but the current capital structure. So first we have to see whether the current capital structure consists of any equity issue. In this case, the current capital structure consists of 6,000 equity shares, right? Because in 6,000 capital was raised only through issue of equities. The value of one equity is 100 rupees. Therefore, 6,000 equity shares were issued by the company in order to raise 6 lakh rupees. Therefore, the current capital structure, that is the existing capital structure, consists of 6,000 equity shares. So, when we calculate the number of equity shares, in each plan, this 6,000 equity share is to be added. Clear? Now we have to see the new level. New level means the additional capital which the company wants to raise. Okay. In this case, the additional capital the company wants to raise is how much? 3 lakh rupees. Let's see the plans one by one. In new level, we have to see, is there any new issue of equities in each case? Here, let's take the first plan now. In first plan, the entire capital, that is the 3 lakh rupee, is raised by the company only through issue of equity. The value of one equity is how much? 100 rupees. Therefore, in order to raise 3 lakh rupees, how many shares will be issued by the company? 3,000 shares. Clear? That is 3 lakh divided by 100. 3,000 equity shares will be issued by the company in order to raise 3 lakh shares, 3 lakh rupees. Therefore, in first plan, the total number of equity is how much? 6,000 plus this 3,000, 9,000 equity. Clear? Now, let's see the second plan. In second plan, 1 lakh rupees raised by the company through equity shares. So, in order to raise 1 lakh rupees, how many shares will be issued by the company? 1,000 shares will be issued by the company. That is, the value of one share is 100 rupees. Therefore, 100 equity shares will be issued by the company in order to raise 1 lakh rupees. Therefore, in second plan, the total number of equity shares how much? In existing level, that is the current capital structure consists of 6,000 equity shares plus in new issue, the company has to issue 1,000 equity shares. Therefore, the total number of equities in second plan is how much? 7,000 equities. Clear? Let's take the third plan now. In third plan also, the 1 lakh rupees raised by the company through issue of equity. So how many shares will be issued by the company? 1000 shares. Therefore, in third case also, the current level, that is the existing level, 6000 shares. In new issue, 1000. The total number of equities how much? 7000 equity shares. Clear? Let's see the fourth plan now. In fourth plan, is there any new issue of equity? No issue of equity shares because the entire amount is raised by the company only through loans. Therefore, in fourth plan, the new level, there is no issue of equity. Therefore, the value is nil. That is the number of equities in fourth plan is nil, and existing level, there is already 6000 equities there. Therefore, in fourth plan, the total number of equities how much? 6000 equity shares. Now we can apply the formula. EPS equal to profit available to equity shareholders divided by the number of equity shares. Therefore, in plan 1, EPS value is 7.5. In plan 2, EPS value is 7.93. Plan 3, EPS value is 7.07. In plan 4, EPS value is 8.25. Now we can make a comment. Among these plans, which plan gives maximum value to the company? Plan 4. So it is advisable to select the plan 4 in order to raise that additional capital of rupees 3 lakh rupees. Here, thank you guys. Hope this video will help you to understand the capital structure.